Every morning from the month of May onwards, the Harry Potter train runs a daily service between Fort William and the small town of Mallaig.
When does it cross the viaduct to Glenfinnan?
If you're there and set up for about 11:15, we should be there just after that. Okay.
Hogwarts Express is actually the Jacobite steam train, which came into service over 30 years ago and covers the legendary Small Isle route.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Florence and I'm your guard today. West Coast Railway Company would like to welcome you on board this 10:15 steam service to Mallaig, arriving in Mallaig at 12:20.
A decade or so on from the film's release, the fame that this little train acquired in the cinema shows no sign of abating. Wizards, young and old, come here to fulfill a dream. The real star of this journey is the famous Glenfinnan Viaduct, a bridge about 30 meters high with 21 arches, which nowadays owes its fame to the adventures of Harry Potter. But there is more to Glenfinnan than this architectural masterpiece. There is also a loch, some mountains, and the home of Ian McFarlane, a forester and musician.
There's nobody lives down this loch for this side for the best part of 15 miles. There's no roads, it's wilderness, complete wilderness. And when I was young, this was all sheep farming. Everywhere you see thousands of sheep, probably 3,000 sheep here, another 2.5 down there. It's an honour really to be able to grow up and live and work in somewhere like this. It's not something you take for granted. You feel it. You feel how lucky you are, to live here. So we always say around here, we get so much rain that one day like this is worth 6 months of rain. And that keeps us here.
Uphill from the now famous viaduct, Alistair Gibson is the steward of the vast Glenfinnan estate, which comprises a series of forests and hills extending over more than 4,000 hectares. From October onwards, Alistair spends nearly every day climbing the surrounding peaks in search of the monarch of the glen, the red deer stag.
My job as stalker is to control the population. We have lost the natural predators, the bears, the wolves, the lynxes. We cull about 100 deer a year on Glenfinnan Estate, of which 25 are stags, 60 odd are hinds, and we have to take followers as well, calves that are late born, poor, won't live through the winter. What you see around you here, the grass, the heather, it would become poor, overgrazed, and you would have peaks and troughs in the population level, because if we didn't control them, the population would rise and rise until there wasn't enough food, and then it would crash.
wild Scottish red deer stag lives in a herd and positions itself on the peaks to get a better view so that it can protect its females.
The stag is very keen and very active for 3 weeks. He is strong and looking after a harem, a group of ladies. There could be 15, 20 ladies he's looking after, and he keeps them together, and he mates with them when he can. The technique would be have the wind in your face, so as they're not smelling you. They're very sensitive to that. Stealth, quietly. They're very sensitive. They can hear you loading the rifle. We load the rifle 200-300 meters away, crawl into 100 meters, slide the barrel through the grass, and approach that way. That's, their eyesight is very, very good. I think an icon of the Highlands. You would have the red stag, maybe an eagle would be iconic of the Highlands, and we're very proud of our stags. They are not massive stags that you find on the woods. They have adapted to live in the open hill. They have become smaller, but they are very wise as well.
In lots of stories, the stag is a savior. In Harry Potter, it symbolizes the protective spirit of Harry's father when it appears to him in an ethereal and luminous form. Downhill from the viaduct, Ian McFarlane likes to go out on his boat on Loch Shiel, a freshwater lake 25 kilometres long, surrounded by mountains, peat bogs and ancient pastures.
Going back in history, it's probably not the remote bare hills that you see now. It was worked by all the people living up and down the loch side, hundreds of people. They would have all been carving a life out of this tough terrain, planting crops and tending their cattle and maybe a few sheep, some goats. The traffic on the loch would have been quite busy because everyone travelled by boat.
For centuries, Loch Shiel was of strategic importance as a transport route through the mountains. It used to flow into the sea. This vast loch features in all the films in the Harry Potter series. It is here that part of the second task of the Tri-Wizard Tournament was filmed. And Harry Potter flew over Loch Shiel on his hippogriff. Halfway across, on the biggest island on the lake, lie the ruins of a very old chapel, which would have been the dwelling place of a saint. For centuries, it has watched over the tombs of important members of Scottish clans.
It's not just a monument, it's still an active graveyard, and there's still local families are buried here, mostly from the Harachel and the Struntian area. You see new graves as well as ancient graves here, and I believe there's thousands and thousands of people buried here, and they've been layered and layered over the centuries. Traditionally, the loch is the border between North Argyll and Moidart on the other side, and the burial isle itself was on the Moidart side Catholic, and so the Catholic graves are on the northwest side of the island, and on the southwest you had people from Argyllshire who were predominantly Episcopalian and Church of Scotland. So the two, so they all lie in peace together, which is quite nice.